2007, but right into the Tigers' den here tonight. Now we are set for the kickoff between Boston College and the Clemson Tigers. Clemson, by the way, has won 10 consecutive games against BC. Last year they were #1. Clemson was the top dog, and they erased a 28-10 second quarter deficit, won that game 34-28 in a wild finish. So the Tigers with the first touch, can't quite get it back to the 20-yard line. DJ, now you look at what he did last year against BC's first career start, filling in for Trevor Lawrence. And Tim, he was just outstanding. Moved the football, ran the football, he did everything.
He was spectacular in that game, and really you look at it and you think they were down. He brought them back. The poise, it just felt like, all right, Clemson was going to reload when Trevor Lawrence left. And then you look at the start of this season, obviously through 4 games, not like the first 2 he started a year ago.
No Will Shipley, the outstanding freshman running back. He's out with a leg injury. So Kobe Pace in there in the backfield. Might see some new faces tonight running the football for the Tigers. First down and 10. This is going to be Ross on the move. Ross take a little pitch and down the left side before he moves out of play. And going to pick up a first down. Run out by Graham Mobley.
And interesting to see Clemson get to a little bit of a wrinkle offensively, misdirection play, get the ball in one of their best players' hands to start the game. A little creativity to start things off.
Yeah, nice way to pick up 15. First and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground. And Kobe Pace with the first rush there, and it'll be Horsley with the tackle. And Jeff Hafley said BC is a special place right now. He said it's going to take some time, but things are building. He saw that in the victory over Mizzou. Will that carry over to a place like this? Second down and 8. DJ handing off, and it's Pace straight ahead, right into the pile, still pushing, still pushing. A tremendous effort there to pick up 7.
Yeah, and that right there is not a good sign for Boston College. That's the kind of stuff where BC, needs to be strong at the point of attack, because where BC is lacking is on the perimeter with the speed facing these Clemson receivers. But if Clemson can run the football physically in between the tackles, that's going to start to create bigger problems for the BC defense.
Third down and 1, big call right away here for the Tigers. They've got Ngata in motion. And a lot of movement on that front line. Third and short. And a handoff straight into the line again. They're going to pick up the first down. That's Kobe Pace to pick it up. Sheeta Silla, the defensive end, making the stop. And believe me, I practiced that all week long to make sure that was correct.
I was just waiting for you to say it first.
First and 10. Going to fire it. It's Williams. And Williams darting off to the right side, stopped by Josh DeBerry, but he'll pick up 2.
Yeah, and that's a really good job by BC on the perimeter, because I think that's really where they're most threatened, is speed in space on the perimeter. And so for Elijah Jones and Josh DeBerry to make a play out in space like that is encouraging for the Eagles.
There's been a lot of bend but don't break for BC so far in this 4-0 start. DJ out of shotgun. Going to run the play again. And off to the left side. That goes absolutely nowhere. Will Taylor brought down. Will Taylor, a guy they like to use to get creative. But off he comes, a little bit banged up as he comes off to the side.
Yeah, and Taylor is a guy that has quarterback skills. They like him on the jet sweeps like we just saw, and they want to get him involved more in this offense.
Third down and 8, the flag down.
Ball start. Offense, number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Now, one of the things that Dabo told us this week, they have to clean up the penalties. Just too many penalties.
Yeah, protecting the football and cleaning up the penalties. And I would think that Kobe Pace comes out of the game when this happens, but The reality is pre-snap penalties, your quarterback's using a double cadence to get a look at the defense, help you get into the right play call. You can't have your tailback moving and jumping off sides. Now making it a 3rd and 13, and Dabo not happy about it.
And a freshman, Phil Mafah, now into the game, a guy they wanted to redshirt, very talented running back. DJ to fire, and a completed pass, outstanding catch by Williams on the far side for 13.
And listen, that's why the penalty is so critical, because I think we're short of the first down here, 4th and 1 instead of a first down, and now you put this Clemson offense in a position to make a decision right around midfield to go forward on 4th and 1.
They're going to keep the freshman in the backfield, crowd getting into it in a big way on 4th and 1. Into BC territory. Mafah trying to follow his blockers and dives ahead, and I'm not so sure he got it. And BC says he didn't. That was Silla with the stop, and got some help from a strong safety, Jaden Lars would be, and they did not get it. They come up short.
And I'll go back to, I think, right, look at the penetration there. Just not able to get going. That's a heck of a job by the front. And look at Dabo Sweeney going after Kobe Pace on that 3rd down, jumping off sides. That's the difference right there. It was 3rd and about 7 or 8. Pace jumps off sides, makes it 3rd and 13, and now that outcut that heads to the boundary forces a 4th down decision, and BC comes up with a huge stop.
Still very hot. So BC to take over on downs. Dennis Grosel, quarterback. Pat Garwo is #1 running back. He's going to throw on 1st down. He's going to throw over the middle and incomplete. Threw it short and intended for C.J. Lewis, the wide receiver.
Dennis Grosel's got an opportunity to start off hot on an in-cut. He just skips this one to Gill. But, it's an interesting story. Former walk-on who has actually played a fair amount. And so you just go back to 7 starts in 2019 and then 1 start last year where he throws for 500 yards. And I think that this Boston College football team, believe it or not, has quite a bit of confidence in him.
Even though they lost Jurkovic, who's a tremendous quarterback, and to keep it on the ground here and run the football. And the stop made by Andrew Booth. As Garwo went for his 2nd carry, he'll pick up 3 and bring up 3rd down and 7. Grossel's a great story, as you mentioned. Graduate quarterback. He's certainly persevered. 3 years ago, he started 7 games. Last year, he matched Doug Flutie's program record with 520 passing yards against Virginia when he stepped in for the #1 quarterback back then. But first 2 years at BC.
5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
First couple of years at Boston College, he saw absolutely no action at all.
Well, and what's been interesting is, Jeff Hafley just believes in him as a guy. I mean, he actually told him, hey, if you want to try to go play somewhere and be a starter, because we have Phil Jurkovic in the program, I'll help you do that. Dennis basically said, no, look, I like being here. I like being coached by you. I like this football team. I like Boston College. I want to come back and be a part of this program.
Push back to 2nd and 15 on a penalty. Grossell trying to move them here on his first possession. He's going to fire that complete. And a short pass for 12. So got a lot of that back. Jalen Gill with the reception.
Yeah, and just off of a play action, a fake run and then a fake around. And, Gill does a good job of stemming up the corner, giving his quarterback a target.
Zay Flowers, who wears #4 for Boston College. He's the superstar wide receiver. He's a game breaker. Grossell's going to throw long. He's got a man. He's got Flowers. He's going to overthrow him. Zay Flowers intended, but overthrown. He was covered by Mukubu.
Yeah, and it's another illegal formation by Boston College. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. That penalty's declined. It'll be 4th down.
Here's the problem here for BC. One of these guys, between Zay Flowers and the tight end, need to be on the line of scrimmage. And then when they run this post, Zay Flowers is actually wide open. And if Grossell can put it on him and they're lined up in the proper formation, they may score a touchdown.
The speedy Justin Ross back to receive the punt. Hangs up high by Carlson. And will take a bounce inside the 10-yard line. No score in the opening minutes. 9:44 to go in the first here at Death Valley.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger.
A long time, but the criticism is warranted because that's where we're at right now. We're not very good right now.
Well, and he kind of looked at this week as an opportunity to really coach his football team, and he's not passing this opportunity tonight to get on them.
It comes with the territory. 2 national championships, 2 runner-ups. Pass will go to Williams. Williams on the near side makes some extra yards after the reception. Let's go down to Kelsey Riggs.
Well, guys, some bad news for Clemson. We saw Will Taylor look like he got banged up. He kind of limped over to the tent earlier, went in, came out and sitting on the sidelines now. When he came out, he kind of like took his helmet off, very upset. Obviously, he has ice on his leg now, but it doesn't stop there. Braden Galloway just went into the locker room as well.
So those are starting to mount already. Uyunglele in some trouble trying to get free, and here they come. They're all over him, and he is dragged down by the Eagles. The first man in was Marcus Valdez at defensive end. So he does gain 2, but hard earned, and it's 2nd and 8.
And it was really a design shot play. You know, they faked that little pitch they ran earlier in the game, and they're trying to get Joseph Ngata down the middle of the field, but BC able to get home.
Pace on the move. Going to hit him in the flat. He gets tripped up as he got across the 40-yard line, but that'll gain 8. And it'll be a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you see what Clemson tries to do offensively. They want to get their athletic players the ball in space with room to run, and you know, that's where they feel like they've had the advantage in the past. And you know, when we see them use a play similar to that with Travis Etienne, oftentimes it was a broken tackle and then an even bigger play than you see there.
The DJ coming off a 12 for 26, 111-yard passing performance against NC State. On the move, throws it up for grabs and throws it out of bounds. And hearing a little bit of boos coming down from the faithful here.
Well, and those aren't justified. That's actually a smart play. They're running a boot play. The tight end's covered in the flat. His corner route, which he's rolling to, is covered, and so he throws it away. Doesn't take the sack. That right there is actually a smart play, and I think shows some growth out of DJ.
Good pressure from the end. Brandon Barlow, 50-year man for the Eagles. 2nd down 10 for the Tigers. On the ground. It's going to be Pacey's wide open. There's nobody near him, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. 59 yards. And that'll make everybody in Death Valley very, very happy. 6 up on the board for the Tigers. Kobe Pace, the 5'10" sophomore out of Georgia. And a quick 6 as Potter is on for the extra point. Clemson on top, 7-0.
Big play by the Clemson offense. Sheeta Salah comes inside, and then Isaiah Graham Mobley just gets lost, caught up in the wash, get confused where that ball's going, get out of position, you leave a gap open for the Clemson offense. And Kobe Pace off to the races for the score.
All right, here we go. Miller in motion. Wait, is that a baby on the field?
It looks like it, Craig.
And the defensive linemen are playing peekaboo. I've never seen anything like that before.
Harris now appears to be burping the baby.
That's a great moment right there.
Ref going to the rule book here.
Well, wait a minute. Harris is off to the races.
We don't need any more trick plays.
Touchdown!
But we could all use more ways to save.
Are you kidding?
And Bockhurst there showing some extra skills, man. Not too shabby for a left guard, man. Working hard on a hot night.
I was just about to say, he's put a lot of effort in, too.
He did. About 8 minutes to go here in the first. And Clemson on top 7-0, 59-yard touchdown scamper.
Well, we said it. Salah ends up coming inside. With a player outside, he gets out of position. Isaiah Graham Mobley overruns it, and then you get super aggressive flow by the free safety Maitre, and what happens is that's why it busts wide open. Two guys out of position, and then the free safety Maitre just overrunning it, and that's why nobody's home for Boston College. So good job of sorting things out, and then Dabo, who had pace in the doghouse earlier in the night, letting them know how much he appreciates that effort.
So BC trying to answer. Grossell stepping away from one tackler, dumps that off short. He got it free to Trey Barry, his tight end, and will pick up 6 yards. The stop by James Skalski, who is back and feeling good after a shoulder injury.
Yeah, it's good for this Clemson defense to have Skalski back, because he really is the guy that holds things together. And when you think about the injuries at defensive tackle, Dave, you know, having a veteran presence in the middle like Skalski certainly helps.
Brazee and Davis both out. Huge losses defensively for the Tigers. Garwo will cut back inside before he's tripped up, but he's going to pick up a first down. Nolan Turner with the stop, but a 7-yard gain.
Look at the movement Boston College gets. It's basically everyone moving left, which is going to leave this cutback lane for Garwo. It's just an excellent job of running your man, getting on train tracks on a zone run and pushing the defenders, press the hole for the back and cut back. That's a good job by the BC offensive line.
That's an excellent line. They've allowed only 2 sacks so far per game, which is number 5 nationally, doing an excellent job protecting the quarterback. And another handoff once again. It'll be Garwo with the carry, but nothing there. Miles Murphy, who's just about impossible to block anyway, with the stop.
Yeah, and I think when you look at these defenders, especially the defensive ends for Clemson, I mean, let's face it, that, you know, being in a situation where, you know, you're pass setting on a guy like Miles Murphy all night long, he's going to win his fair share of them. Being able to line up with an extra tight end and try to run at them is the much better plan of attack for Boston College.
Murphy 6'5", 275. Out of Marietta, Georgia. 2nd down, 11. Little play action. Grossell with some time, dumps it over for the tight end Barry again. Second catch for him tonight. Makuba tripped him up. A 7-yard gain.
Yeah, and Makuba, a guy that Brent Venables told us, Dave, I mean, he has been as impressed by, you know, him as much as any true freshman defensive back that they've seen in this program.
They love his talent. They love his maturity. They say he's years ahead of his freshman status. 3rd down and 4. Grossell out of the shotgun. Looking to throw again. Right over the middle, and a terrific pass for the first down. Big gainer here for the Eagles. That'll pick up 21.
This is a big-time play by Dennis Grosel. He's working to his right. He's looking to get an outcut or a flat. But great pass protection, reset in the pocket, and he's able to find his big tight end, Bichetti, as he's coming across the middle. That's a really good job by Dennis Grosel.
He's 6'5", about 250. On the ground, and it's Garwo. Garwo off to the races, got close to the 10-yard line. A stop there by Andrew Booth to save a touchdown. Tripped him up. That goes for 26.
Well, when we talked to Frank Signetti about Garwo, he said his vision is excellent. Look at that cut there and the vision. You would have thought he was keeping that front side, but the vision after the initial cut to cut it backside was tremendous, and what led to the big run.
1st and goal. Clemson has not allowed a rushing touchdown in the first 4 games of the season. Grossell with a handoff. Garwo again. Tried to dive back inside. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. He'll gain 3.
Now, you mentioned not allowing a rushing touchdown. I mean, there's been a pride. I mean, we've seen this defense in blowouts, Dave, where to the end of the game, they're still very attentive to the fact that they're keeping people out of the end zone by running the football, and it's the way Brent Venables coaches. Non-stop.
The other back, Levy, in along with Garwo now for BC. They racked up 275 rushing yards against Missouri. and just pummeled them on the ground. 2nd and goal. 8th play of the drive. It's Garwo trying to move off tackle. He's stacked up around the 5-yard line. Skalski along with Tyler Venables on the tackle.
Yeah, if you're not sure how important it is to have Jamie Skalski in there, look at him here and look at him run to the football. I mean, it's a lead play to the weak side. He's really not supposed to be in the mix for that play. And for a guy that had to come out a week ago, you can just see the tenacity and why Brent Venables just absolutely loves him. That's amazing. 61st career game for him here at Clemson.
Talk about a guy with some jewelry, all the rings that he has, and a tremendous career. 3rd and goal. Grossell trying to put the Eagles into the end zone. He's back to throw. He's going to throw. It's going to be tipped. It was deflected. So the Tigers with the stop there. Trenton Simpson got his hand on it.
It's a good job. Simpson's being blocked by Zion Johnson, and he does an excellent job of just stopping his rush and getting his hands up. And I think that Grossell's got Trey Berry, who's a big target. So Simpson with a heck of a play to get his hands up on the football.
Connor Litton on for the field goal. This will be from 22. Eagles trying to get on the scoreboard here quickly. And that is going to be up and good. Boston College with the field goal. Clemson's lead 7-3, 2:59 to go in the first.
You can get it. 40th reunion, led by head coach.
And their 40th reunion, they were even getting some big-time serious tailgating in.
We got caught up in it on our way to the stadium, Dave. And you said it last time we were here. They always do a great job of honoring past players, past teams. And I know that the crowd definitely gets into it as well.
It's a marvelous part of the culture here under Dabo Swinney. And it's just been outstanding to watch every time we come in. Well, DJ back at it. Clemson with the 7-3 lead. Boston College with 20 consecutive losses to ranked opponents. Last time they beat a ranked opponent was 2014 over number 9 USC.
And you look at DJ's numbers to start. I think Tony Elliott's done a tremendous job of getting easy completions. You think about some of the shovel passes to start the game. His only incompletion was the throwaway that I was complimenting him for, because nobody was open and he had pressure on him.
Remember what he did against BC last year, filling in for Trevor Lawrence. 30 for 41, 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked like a superstar. He's going to carry it. He can do that too, and he'll slide across the 30-yard line.
DJ
and he'll pick up 7.
With the quarterback keeper.
And I think running the quarterback is something they need to do more of. That right there is a little wrinkle off of the wide screen that they threw to Kobe Pace earlier. You don't like the look. It's got a built-in quarterback run with it, and at 250 pounds, he's a tough guy to tackle.
On 2nd down. Move it away from pressure. He's going to fire to the sideline and throw it away. And good pressure by Boston College by Salah. He was coming.
And see, just kind of sticking on the point with DJ as a runner. I think at 3rd and 4, with as many run pass options as Clemson has in their offense, many of them with the quarterback keeping the ball in a design quarterback draw, quarterback power as part of the plan off of a design pass play, should be in play here.
3rd and 4 for the Tigers. Uyunglele back to throw. He'll fire, and it's going to be broken up by BC. And a fine play by Brandon Sebastian, who had that huge game-sealing pick in overtime to beat Missouri.
Well, Dave, you said fine play. This is fantastic. It's a back shoulder fade throw. Sebastian probably gets away with a little bit of a grab there on Frank Ladson, but this is nearly impossible to defend. And Sebastian plays it about as well as you can against a 6'3" wide receiver in a well-thrown ball. That's impressive.
So the Tigers forced to punt. Final minutes of the first quarter, and Clemson leading it 7-3 over undefeated Boston College. Gill is back on a big punt. Going to try and bring this out on a spin move. He gets tagged around the 20-yard line. That's a 54-yard kick and a 5-yard return. So Grossell and BC racked up all those yards on the ground in the victory over Mizzou. We were chatting with the offensive coordinator Frank Cignetti this week, and all of the high decibel music they used in practice came right out of his playbook. He wanted to simulate Death Valley and the big noise here. So it was all his tunes. It was AC/DC, it was Pearl Jam, as loud as he could get it.
I'm just wondering if Zay Flowers and Tyler Vrabel, with the age discrepancy, if they were okay with AC/DC and Pearl Jam.
I think they have to be if it's the offensive coordinator. And a whistle. First down and 10.
The previous play is under further review.
So they're going to look at targeting on the return. That is why it is under review here. Booth initiated. So we'll keep it right here with 2:05 to go in the first.
You know, Dave, you said on the tackle, you said, you know, and he gets tagged, and it was a huge collision. There wasn't any doubt about it, and you know, and so Davis Allen, the tight end, who's covering the kick there, you just wonder if they're going to say that that's the crown of his helmet.
Big junior at 6'6", 250 out of Calhoun, Georgia.
You know, if you notice Clemson, I mean, we're looking at Joseph Ngata and Skalski and Davis Allen. We're looking at a bunch of starters, and man, yeah, that is crown of the helmet.
Yeah, lowering the head before attacking by initiating forcible contact with the crown of the helmet, one of the elements of targeting.
Yeah, it's clearly not a defenseless player. You have a punt returner, and these collisions are going to be huge in special teams plays. Guys are running full speed down the field. And look, I've been wrong on these about 1,000,000 times this season already. We had one last week that looked like it was clear. Crown of the helmet on a running back in the backfield that was not called targeting after it, you know, was on the field. And I don't know that that you can dispute that it's crown of the helmet. I just don't. But
of course, the player, if it's targeting, is disqualified.
After further review, personal foul, targeting a defenseless player with the crown of his helmet, kicking team number 84. It's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. By rule, number 84 has been disqualified.
With 2:05 to go in the first.
Yeah, I don't need to get on a spiel about how I feel about the targeting situation. That's a really hard spot for a guy who is not a defensive player covering a kick and ends up making a hit with the crown of his helmet. That being said, I think the bigger issue for Clemson is that Davis Allen is now out for the game. And Braden Galloway, their other tight end, came out earlier. That could be two tight ends that they are now without for that Clemson offense.
The two top guys on the ground. Garwo has already broken one off, and there's a flag down on the play. He's already had a 59-yard touchdown run. This would be 15 yards, but a flag down. And Will Taylor now heading to the locker room for the Tigers. And that's a big loss. That's a freshman, but a guy that they love to use so creatively.
Yeah, and look, there were plenty of injuries defensively coming into this football game for Clemson. But now we're starting to see it on the offensive side. And not for Boston College. You rip off a big first down run, but a holding penalty sets you back. That's the last thing BC needs offensively, is to start off already off schedule.
It was on the center, Alec Lindstrom, and another flag is down, and it's getting very choppy here at the very end of the first quarter.
False start. Offense, number 73.
Yeah.
It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Christian Mahogany, the right guard.
Well, Dave, you talked about the music Frank Cignetti was playing, but Jeff Hafley definitely voiced his concern about this being the first time that this coaching staff with this group of players had really headed into a really hostile environment, and he was curious to how his team would respond.
First down and 21. Grossell gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete as he took a spill and a pretty good hit.
And I'm not sure how that's not intentional grounding.
KJ Henry with the pressure to bring up second down and long. So BC digging themselves a hole here in the final moments of the first quarter with penalties. Dennis Grosel takes the snap. Looking downfield, goes short, and a bobble, and it's dropped. Garwo had it and lost it.
And, you know, Garwo, not the pass catcher that Travis Levy is, and it's really a good decision by Dennis Grosel. You got second and forever. You're running a play where you got guys going down the field. The defense is soft. Check it down, and there's just kind of some positive momentum when you have the completion, and you maybe get yourself into something third and manageable. Now, if you're Boston College, you got to be really careful here. It's third and forever. Very unlikely that you're able to convert. You know, the best thing here is to gain a few yards and still be able to punt the football.
They'll bring Travis Levy in, who is the better pass catcher, as you mentioned, at the running back for the Eagles.
Delay of game, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Man, is this spotty?
It is spotty, and I think somebody needs to just settle the group down. You think back to the first drive of the game for BC, some penalties there. Obviously, you know, plenty of penalties here. The opponent is tough enough.
Yes.
The last thing you need to do is put yourself in third and not gettable, basically.
That's their fourth penalty for BC. You can't come in here and do that all night. You'll have no chance. Third and 26. Grossell to put it in the air again. He'll throw short, and that catch is made by Levy. Still on his feet. Before finally he is taken down by Nolan Turner. He'll pick up 6. Let's get out of Kelsey.
Well, guys, you're talking about the environment here, and it's definitely loud. And I talked to Dennis Grosel about how they would handle that. He said one of the things they would have to do is control the controllables, focus on their job that much more. He said the huddle gets a little tighter, your ears perk up a little bit more, and you have to make sure you call the play and do your line checks and execute it. But the nonverbal stuff is really important, too, and it's something that they've struggled with so far. The Clemson side also has. There's a couple times when their offense is out on the field, and the guys on Clemson's sideline are trying to quiet the crowd as well.
Kelsey gets off the punt, and Ross will let that one bounce. They'll take a pretty good bounce here for the Eagles, and down inside the 5-yard line.
That is a huge play right there by Carlson, because, you know, as Boston College had the holding penalty and then the false start, I'm thinking, you know, that this is going to be a scenario where field position's in key, and I think Justin Ross got to go make a play on that football. So the punt from Carlson, and then the decision not to field the ball by Justin Ross just absolutely flipped this field for BC.
Yeah, it's a 72-yard punt with the roll. First and 10 inside their own 5-yard line. Uyunglele with a long way to go, a 7-3 lead. 17 seconds to go here in the first. And he'll stay on the ground. And Pace with the carry. He'll gain 4. And the clock will run out on the first quarter. Clemson with the lead, 7-3 over upset-minded Boston College. It is homecoming at Death Valley. And Shipley, Davis already out, and already out of this game, at least for the moment. Well, of course, Allen's been disqualified, Taylor and Galloway. So some problems injury-wise, and that pass is going to be thrown to the tight end, Ennis. He's going to pick it up. And a first down. Sage Ennis with the grab. That'll be an 8-yard pickup. Phil Mafah, the young running back in for the Tigers, getting his first action here in this game tonight. And another whistle. Just starting the second quarter.
Ruling on the field, the previous play is a completed pass for a first down. That plays under further review.
So that will be under review. Let's take a look here as we go to break. It looked like a pretty good catch.
That's half the fun of a new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners and
here with a 7-3 lead over undefeated BC. As Clemson tries to pick up their third win of the season. And a little pitch here off to the left side, and going to gain pretty good yardage here on Mafah's carry. Stopped by Graham Mobley. That's a 10-yard gain for the youngster.
Yeah, and Mafah was a guy that I think with Shipley healthy, they maybe thought they would preserve the redshirt year, but now with Shipley out and some of the struggles they've had offensively, looks like Mafah's going to get a chance, and he's a pretty big, powerful back. I think he's got a chance to maybe turn enough heads to turn into the guy here.
And 6'1", 225. Uyunglele straight ahead, breaks a couple tackles, spins, and another big gain for the Tigers. 14 yards from the quarterback.
It's quarterback power. So basically, it's going to be a jab step. You're going to lead up with Mafah, and just look at the movement you get, and then the fact that you're just following a big 225-pound back through the hole. So that's a 225-pound running back leading the way for a 250-pound quarterback.
Good lead, a couple of bruises along the way. First down and 10. He is back to throw. From the pocket, fires, and a catch made on that far sideline, and a good grab for a 24-yard pickup. That is Joseph Ngata with his 14th reception.
Yeah, it's just man-to-man coverage, and Sebastian looked like he maybe ran Ngata out of bounds. I wonder if Ngata stayed in bounds. That's a nice grab by Joseph Ngata on a low throw, but if DJ's able to keep him up, he's going to score.
Another first down. Mafah in the open field. Oh, tremendous spin to get free, still on his feet, and dives ahead. Boy, what a great move to dust a defender on a spin.
It's a great move, Dave. It's the work of the guys up front first to get him going, and they just do a good job of blocking it at the point of attack. Look at him. Mafah gets to the second level untouched, and then the move that he makes on Mike Palmer is outstanding. This is why I say he might be the guy that could turn into the guy at his size, 6'1", 225, run with the power that we've seen, but also being able to do that in the open field.
Give him 28 yards, first and goal for Clemson. The quarterback will keep it again. Big Cinco trying to power his way inside that 5-yard line. And a stop by Cam Arnold that he'll pick up 3.
And this actually isn't a great run by DJ. I think he missed a cut here, but that's still down in the red zone. To be able to have the threat of your quarterback passing, but then that kind of power run game with a big back leading the way, I think that is something that could end up being really special for this Clemson offense because of DJ's size.
He's run it 4 times tonight. So far, second and goal. Mafah straight on. And BC saw that coming, and they'll push him back. The stop by Chris Banks, the defensive tackle out of Patterson, New Jersey. So no gain there. Brings up third down and goal.
You know, we're so used to seeing this Clemson offense throw fades into the end zone when they get down in here in these goal-to-go situations, but I'm not so sure that the quarterback running it isn't still the best option.
DJ on the keep, straight on again. They stack him up. And Marcus Valdez, the first man from that end position. So what do you do here on 4th and goal?
I think you kick the field goal, and you hear some boos in the stadium. There is an element of being a
one from 18, and he punches it through. So Clemson settles for the field goal. And maybe a little bit of frustration there.
For the Clemson Tigers, it's not looking good for them.
2-2 at Clemson, that's a different experience.
For me, it's the first time that I think I've ever lost 2 regular season games in my football career.
We're very inconsistent when it comes to having 11 guys getting the little things right.
We know what the things we have to do to get better. We know what it takes.
This program was built from adversity. It was built through adversity.
Going into Boston College, we still have a long season ahead of us. I think we'll be perfectly fine.
There ain't no funeral around here. We're all right. We'll be just fine.
But an awful lot of noise, and they're certainly not used to hearing that. Clemson with scoring drives of 86 and 94 yards so far tonight. On top of Boston College 10-3. And Levy back at the goal line, and that is into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Plenty of noise, certainly, when Clemson goes 2-2. Paul Feinbaum says the luster has worn off. Stephen A. Smith says it's all about the quarterback. And Tiki Barber says this is the last time we'll talk about Clemson because they're not going to win a lot of games this year.
I was just looking for your hot take somewhere in there too, Dave, of this Clemson program. And look, Dabo's talking about, look, we're not going anywhere. I trust Tony Elliott as much as any person I trust in football, and it's an inside-out program, and we're going to coach through it. And I will say his message has been consistent when they've been winning and when they've been losing. And yeah, it's one of the reasons I think this idea that the Clemson program is going to fall off a cliff is probably exaggerated.
Yeah, I would say very, very serious reach.
And that doesn't mean that they can't have some struggles and a struggling quarterback and maybe going to have to navigate through some injuries that they have. I mean, heck, it's 10-3 versus BC in the second quarter, which, I'm sure many people didn't think would be the case.
Grossell, a little bit of time, gets it to the tight end Barry on the near side. And for more on this, let's go down to Kelsey.
Well, the other thing that Dabo Swinney talked about this week was the opportunity that they have to teach. He says sometimes there's lessons after a loss that you just can't teach after a win. And he said they have to stick to the course, stay with the plan, don't flinch, and take advantage of this teaching opportunity. It's something that he said he learned from Gene Stallings, how you respond before and after these moments. That's how you create confidence in what you're doing here at Clemson.
3rd and 9 for the Eagles. And Grossell trying to make some magic happen. He'll throw it over the center of the field. It's going to be tipped and intercepted. The Tigers with the pick. The interception by Nolan Turner, the strong safety. It was tipped right to him.
It's just a miss high by Dennis Grosel. And basically, they're running a tight end through the middle, and then they're going to run an in-cut in behind it. And, as Trey Berry brings the coverage with him, he's got Zay Flowers, and he just misses it. He misses high, and then that tip ball over the middle allows Nolan Turner to make a play on the football, and it's just a bad mistake for the BC offense because, even a quick 3 and out and a punt that flips field position is better than giving the football back to Clemson at midfield.
Yeah, right at the 50-yard line. So field position for the Tigers as they begin this drive. Couple of long ones in the ball game. And that one's going to be a completed pass here on the near sideline to Ngata. He'll pick up 12 on that reception.
And it's throws like that, Dave, that DJ Uiagalelei has to make. Just free access throws, on time, catch, throw the quick out to the receiver's chest, allow him to fall forward for the first down. Those routine plays will start to change just the rhythm of the Clemson offense. Get that first down.
Not saying he has been mistake-free in the 4 games leading up to this, but there have been a number of passes that have been dropped or tipped away or deflected that could have gone for big gainers, used to in the past. He's going to throw that one incomplete, intended for Justin Ross.
Yeah, and you see a play like that, and I just go back to that last drive, frustration that they didn't throw a fade. Well, there's Justin Ross with a fade opportunity Brandon Sebastian defends it well. They don't connect on it. I mean, to me, this looks like it goes through his hands. And so you think back to the end of the North Carolina State game a week ago. That's why I had no problem with running the quarterback down inside the 5. They're not connecting on those plays.
Uyunglele with a pitch. And it's going to be Mafah again. Mafah getting loose on that far sideline. And he will pick up a hard-earned first down. What an impressive first half for him.
I feel like this is one of these situations where you accidentally uncover something. I mean, that's what it feels like a little bit with Phil Mafah. Just his power.
Out of Loganville, Georgia, ranked the 11th best running back in the country. Dabo said, we love him. He's a great young talent. Up top going for that corner, but it's going to be overthrown. They wanted Ngata again, but incomplete.
Look, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those types of plays in this offense, you know, were called 50-50 balls by the rest of the country, but here at Clemson, they were 80-20s. You know, they came down with it 80% of the time, and it just, they're not in sync with it, and that's why I think, you know, if that's the staple of your offense, you know, I think you need to get away from it and find out, you know, what your identity can be.
2nd and 10. Mafah in motion. DJ with the keep and dives ahead. And somebody lost a helmet. Cam Horsley. So he will have to come off for a play. A 3-yard pickup. And 3rd down and 7. Notre Dame and Virginia Tech at Blacksburg. That'll be next weekend right here, prime time on the ACC network. Irish with a loss to Cincinnati today. Cincinnati was favored and they played like it.
They sure did. A couple turnovers and really ended up doing a good job.
Uyunglele with a short pass and incomplete. Tried to dart that to the 20-yard line to Bo Collins, but incomplete.
Yeah, that's a bad miss. It's clearly man coverage. You have a rub route designed, and you know, you're basically going to run traffic and then run underneath it. Like, that ball should be between the 8 and the 0. Stop him with the throw if you think the defender is running over the top and going to cut it off, and then he can spin out of it. But you know, throwing the ball at the receiver's ankles.
And Dabo wants a timeout. With 7:11 to go here in the first half. And Clemson with a 10-3 lead over Boston College. The pride of BC, Tim Hasselbeck alongside Dave O'Brien. And interesting game to this point. And, you know, after the first quarter, if you're Boston College, you know, you're only down at that point 7-3. You're very much in the game, obviously, but you're feeling like a big win to hang so close.
I think so. The fact that they deferred to start the football game and then got out of the first quarter with it being a 1-score game, and really, you know, up until the interception that just gave Clemson the football back at midfield, I think there's a lot to be happy with. And I would say this, one thing that has definitely stuck out to me is the play of Brandon Sebastian, the corner, number 10 for Boston College, has done a really good job on some of these throws down the field to the talented wide receivers for Clemson.
Potter from 40, and plenty of leg on that one as he drills it. And the Tigers bolster their lead with 7:07 to go in the half, 13-3 over BC.
Doritos Spicy Sweet Chili Wings.
Get them while you can.
Right. Spicy sweet chips on wings. Cheers.
It's at night, but
I thought you were going to talk about the guy putting the sunglasses on now. Let's go.
Having a really good time.
How about the overalls at night? What a great environment this is here, huh? We always enjoy it.
It's phenomenal. The very best in college football, and the Tigers on top 13-3. And Levy will let that bounce off through the end zone to bring it to the 25. So BC looking to answer behind Dennis Grosel and Pat Garwo, who's been their #1 running back, and they really pushed it on the ground a week ago and tore up Missouri, and they have a very experienced and a very good offensive line.
Yeah, and this is a critical drive. You know, you don't want this thing to get away from you where you feel like the score is dictating how you call plays offensively if you're Boston College. And so I think that, being able to stay close and be able to still play your brand of football is critical for BC.
The center, Lindstrom, said he cried after the Missouri win because the line was so good the entire day. Sinkfield with his first carry. A graduate out of Boynton Beach, Florida, stopped by Balin Spector. Was really good against NC State with 19 tackles. Boston College, their starting offensive line.
Yeah, it's the strength of their football team, especially inside. And it's the history of the Boston College program has always produced tough, the way they were described to us anyway, tough, nasty, smart, and fun. What was the last adjective, but they've been good this year.
Grossell, some pressure, trying to dance away. He'll throw, and it's going to be incomplete as it hit the deck. He wanted Zay Flowers, but a flag is down. With 6:24 to go in the first half.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 3 with a blow to the head. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think because he's up high, and just to me, and listen, I love to protect quarterbacks and all of that, but as Grossell, escapes outside the pocket here, is there contact to his helmet? Sure, there's contact to his helmet, but is that a forcible blow?
Dabo certainly doesn't think so.
Yeah, and I would agree with Dabo there. I mean, it's got to be forcible contact, and that is not.
So the head coach is heated up, and so is the crowd here at Death Valley. They'll pick up the first down, 1st and 10. And a handoff, looking to cut back inside once again. It's Sinkfield. And stopped by Skalski, but a 6-yard pickup, and Dabo still at it.
Yeah, he is, man. That's a huge first down. He should be furious about it. It kind of changes the momentum for the BC offense. And Alex Sinkfield, a little bit different type of runner. Got to get going a little bit here for BC. Dabo's still fired up.
Luchetti, the tight end, in motion. Sinkfield again getting some carries. The quarterback is going to keep it. Grossell trying to dance outside and into the bench of the Clemson Tigers, but he's going to pick up a first.
Yeah, that's a nice call by Frank Cignetti, Boston College's offensive coordinator. They've been running the football well. This time Grossell is able to keep it. It's kind of an escort run where they have a blocker out in front of him, and it's a good job of finding your way to the sticks.
Well, this is what the Eagles do best these days, run the football. They'll stay on the ground, nothing doing there. Sinkfield, he is met by Thomas for a loss. Sinkfield trying to take it off to his left, but nothing doing.
Yeah, it's a great play by Xavier Thomas, just knifing inside. And Boston College, who typically huddles up, they do try to surprise you with some tempo, which is what they tried to do there, which is why that play by Xavier Thomas ends up being so big.
Levy back in at a running back for BC. 2nd and 12. Grossell to be tested here, back to throw. Good time to throw, and he gets it to Barry, the tight end, who will dive ahead, making some extra yards. He'll pick up 13. Wow, and first down.
Clemson just playing so deep, so soft on 2nd down. Maybe thinking Boston College about to take a shot, but Trey Barry just running a shallow cross right into the vision of Dennis Grosel. Easy throw for a nice pickup.
Grossell from under center. And up again, it's Levy. And BC continues to move the sticks, and doing it on the ground behind this experienced offensive line.
Yeah, and that's a good job on a short yardage play there, and good hard running by Levy, knowing the situation and just getting his pads low and hitting the hole hard. This is an interesting situation for BC. And I think probably the desire for them, sustain drives, run the football well, keep that Clemson offense off the field so they continue to struggle.
Levy met with a bit of a wall there, a wall of orange, no place to run. Levy, the graduate out of Maryland, stopped by Miles Murphy. And he lost 2. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11. This is the 8th play of the drive for Boston College. Tigers in front 13-3. And flags.
False start. Offense, number 78. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You know, I'm looking at Tyler Vrabel as he's going up. He's messing with his knee brace, you know, and as they're communicating, he's trying to fix his left knee brace. He gets into his stance, and I think he's trying to hear the play. And as he's trying to listen to Dennis Grosel, he ends up jumping off sides. That is a great example of how the environment, not playing in a comfortable situation, just can kind of sneak up on you a little bit and now force a 2nd and 17.
Yeah, there's only so much Pearl Jam that can make up for that. 2nd down and 17. Grossell has to get it up. Chased out of the pocket. Now he'll throw and finds a wide receiver. He got it to Levy. Levy to the outside is going to be shoved out, but he'll pick up 23.
This is a big-time play by Dennis Grosel. They're just talking about Tyler Vrabel. Watch Tyler Vrabel. He ends up kind of holding his block here, but it does a good job of just kind of anchoring down as he gets run over. Grossell then ends up finding Levy. It's a really, really good play by Grossell, just having great vision and somehow finding a way to get his eyes back across the field to an uncovered receiver.
For a 1st down, we have a timeout, 13-3, but the Eagles driving.
You know that fresh made-to-order salad you've been...
On all the college football today, update from Raleigh, and the Demon Deacons remain undefeated. BC on the move, on the ground once again. Sinkfield with a carry. He's become the man on this drive.
Yeah, he really has, and you know, they feel like they have 4 backs that they can really trust, and they all kind of have a different skill set, and Sinkfield's got a little more quick twitch to him and done a nice job on this drive.
Transfer from West Virginia. 9 plays, 56 yards for Boston College. 2nd down and 6. Grossell will hand it off again. Trying to dive inside. Sinkfield didn't get anything there. Barrett Carter came up to say hello.
Barrett Carter's a young, talented linebacker that I think Brent Venables just feels like he's got to get on the field, get him involved. He's super talented, great speed, physical player, and we'll see more of him as the year goes on.
Yeah, Carter, 5-star out of Georgia. Coaches believe he's going to be a star. Travis Levy returns as the running back. 3rd down, 7. Flowers in motion. Will he get the call here? Grossell wants to throw going the other way and complete on a tough catch by Williams. Jaden Williams has 10 receptions this season. 3 of them are touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's just a free access release on the out route, and it's a good throw by Grossell. And you know, Williams is a young freshman that they feel like can be a really good player. And that ball was moving around, but looked like he was able to kind of keep it inside his frame of his body.
Big 1st down for BC. They want more here. Gill sets up on the right. And Grossell will hand off once again. It'll be Levy with the carry. With the stop by Spector, a 1-yard gain.
Now, this drive has obviously been aided by that roughing the passer penalty, but when you think about Boston College getting the ball to start the 2nd half, you know, if they can come away with points here, kind of get that double dip with the ball to start the 2nd half.
They will take the timeout. They have 2 remaining. Well, an impressive drive here for Boston College, and doing it with the legs, Tim.
Yeah, doing it with the legs. It certainly aided and got started with the roughing the passer penalty at the beginning of the drive, but they were running the football, and Dennis Grosel makes a couple of nice plays, especially on the one where it kind of escapes outside the pocket to the left. And it was a critical response. Last time out, this offense had the interception. But so here's the roughing the passer, and that gets things going. And Dabo really hasn't stopped screaming about it all drive, but it's running the football with Dennis Grosel, pick up the first down, and then a good job escaping outside the pocket and having great awareness to find an open receiver for the first down, and then a critical third down conversion there to the young Jaden Williams. And BC is threatening before the half.
Barry, the tight end, out left. Second down 9, just 45 seconds left in the half. 13-3 Tigers. Grossell. Here comes the pressure. He cannot get free. He goes down. He's sacked on the play. That was Myles Murphy. They have had a lot of trouble with him. Just about everybody does.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. Get into a pass rush situation. Myles Murphy is the guy here. I mean, he just does a great job of just kind of stunning Vrabel and then pulling him by. And Dennis Grosel kind of gets stuck holding the football a little bit longer than he probably wanted to.
Yep, and lost 6. We mentioned that the Boston College offensive line had been so good, allowing just 2 sacks a game, which is in the top 5 nationally. Another timeout with 29 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I think you got to be careful here. Okay, I mean, here's the situation. It's 13-3. It's not the end of the world if you're Boston College. A field goal here to go into halftime, down a touchdown.
Yeah, and feeling good about yourself.
Getting the football is okay. So 3rd and 15, yeah. Look, you're trying to get the first down. You're trying to score. At the same time, a stop and a turnover of any sort would be so deflating heading into the half. And so I think, the timeout there, and the ability to discuss that, critical for BC. And then if you're Clemson, anything but a touchdown in this situation. Almost concede the field goal, but keep him out of the end zone.
3rd down 15. Grossell. It's batted up and deflected on the defensive stop here by the Tigers to bring up 4th and 15. A roll, the man who got his hand on it.
Yeah, and a row does a nice job. You see 33 here, kind of getting blocked. Reading Grossel's eyes. Grossel's trying to hit Zay Flowers on the under route and just isn't able to find a throwing lane, and that's a big stop for Clemson.
So this will be a 34-yard kick. The attempt by Connor Litton, the freshman, with a 49-yarder against Missouri, and a very strong leg for 3. It is good. So at 19 seconds left in the second quarter, BC with another field goal. It's 13-6. And coming up on Sunday afternoon, we have a women's soccer and volleyball doubleheader coming your way. 1 o'clock Eastern, number 2 Virginia meeting number 5 North Carolina. That's a huge soccer match. And then volleyball following at 3, Duke and Virginia at Charlottesville. Both games can be seen right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. So still some issues with the offense for Big Cinco and the Tigers, but 19 seconds before halftime.
And Dave, they've been better this first half than they were, the previous 2 weeks, against Georgia Tech and against North Carolina State. But it's still not to the standard that we're used to seeing out of the Clemson offense.
He's trying to run it out of there, got across the 20-yard line. Well, they've been running the ball effectively. Clemson 16 rushes, 156 yards, but here's what DJ has done.
Yeah, and I think there's been a concerted effort to get him into a rhythm, and so there's been some of these free access throws out to the perimeter, and he's done a nice job with those. But then, some of these contested situations where you're trying to hit a fade or you're trying to, run through some man coverage, and you want to give an accurate ball, to your wide receiver, he's missed on those. And you see him saying, hey, that's on me. You know, clearly he's aware of it, and clearly that's an area where they can be better offensively.
9 of 15 throwing, 99 yards. And a handoff here in the final seconds of the first half as Pace gets another carry. Salah with the stop. And the clock will run out, and that is the first half. Boston College to receive the second half kickoff. We thought it was a bit of a surprise. They elected, after they won the toss, not to have the football initially. Yards out of Kobe Pace in the first half. Boston College with a couple of very effective long drives on the ground. So Clemson will kick off. BC to have the football to begin the second half. And a 13-6 game. Boston College trying to go to 5-0 and also trying to beat somebody, a ranked opponent, after 20 consecutive losses to ranked opponents. And moments ago, here's Kelsey with Coach Hafley.
Coach Hafley, you had to settle for field goals twice. What do you need to do to find the end zone?
Just be clean and execute. We got guys open down the field. We had a chance for 2 touchdowns. We didn't execute. They played pretty well in the first half. I think we're settled in right now with the crowd. Guys in the locker room are confident. They're having a blast. I just can't wait to start the second half.
Defensively, what do you need to see more of?
Got to stop the run. We're a little out of the gaps right now. Perimeter, set the edges, and just tackle a little bit better. But what a great job holding them 2 field goals on those in the red zone. Proud of them on that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, let's go.
The former Ohio State defensive coordinator, he loves to talk about defense. Grossell will fire that one behind his receiver. That was a dangerous pass that could have been intercepted.
It could have been intercepted, and it should have been by Sheridan Jones. Just a boot, and they're trapping where the pressure is coming from. And as Grossell gets his head around, he wants to get rid of the football because Skalski's in his face, but they're trapping where they're going. It's a great play call by Brent Venables, and Sheridan Jones really is put in position to make that play. He should pick it off and run it back for a score.
Just getting started here in the second half at Clemson. Second down 10 for the Eagles. Grossell with plenty of time to throw. Fires that one, and it'll be caught. He got it out to the tight end, and a nice grab by Trey Barry, who's been a big target in this one.
Been a huge target, and it's a good job of Barry running a deep over route, and they're clearing it out with a post. Great job of changing the trajectory of the football and the throw. Look at Grossell kind of sit in there, take that extra hitch, that little gather, and then get the ball up and over.
Went for 33 yards. Grossell getting free and finds a man again. This time it's Luchetti. Luchetti trying for the corner, and he's nudged out. And another big gainer. 39 yards for the Eagles. They come out firing here in the second half.
It's an awesome play call. It's a little throwback to Luchetti. He's coming off the left side of your screen, and Grossell does a good job of fighting through the pocket, climbing up and getting him the football. What a start for BC.
On the ground, trying for the end zone. On the push, it's Garwo. And a flag is down on the play. And some start for the Eagles.
There's no foul on the play. Before the snap, Clemson takes its first time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So a timeout by Dabo Sweeney. Take a look.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about this. BC hustles up to snap the football, and they're trying to substitute. Clemson is. Here comes Miles Murphy running back onto the field. This ball is snapped. Miles Murphy is running back onto the screen there. And I'm not sure. You see Dabo now coming in for a timeout. I think the ball was snapped before Dabo was able to get the attention of the official and call a timeout. And Jeff Hafley is not happy about it because, yes, Dabo was trying to call a timeout, but I think Boston College, by hustling to the line of scrimmage, had already snapped the football.
First and goal for BC from the 4-yard line. And Garwo, the #1 back, may be called on here again for the Eagles. Down just 13-6 on the road at Clemson. Hand off again for Garwo, and he's going to punch it into the end zone for a touchdown. Boston College. I mean, in a blink of an eye, and there were a couple of missed tackles there. but he's in from 3 yards to make it a 1-point game.
Well, you said it in the blink of an eye. A couple of big throws to the tight ends, and then Boston College inside the 10-yard line. We mentioned earlier about the vision of Garwo. Good vision there, but how about the balance as well? Another strength of his, kind of just bouncing off some defenders and fighting his way into the end zone.
Lidden on for the point after, and it is good. And this game is tied 13-13.
Well, Jeff Hafley said he couldn't wait for the second half to start because his team was confident. They come out swinging in the second half.
America! After the past year-ish, everyone deserves something new. So, AT&T is giving.
Well, it was a 55-second drive that led to a touchdown, but should have been an interception for a touchdown. Sheridan Jones is trapping this with help over the top as they try to get this ball to Zay Flowers on the first play of the drive. Jones should pick that off and run it back for a score, but after a few big plays to tight ends, it was Pat Garwo punching it in, and what a turn of events for Clemson. A missed opportunity on defense, which leads to a Boston College score that ties it up.
Pace from the goal line. Opens up a bit for him as he cuts back to his left. He brought it out across the 20-yard line. So pressure on DJ.
Well, and big time pressure because they've just been off. You know, here's a throw to Ross that, you know, he should catch. And then you get a third down play where you get a rub route and the ball's thrown in the dirt. It's just been too many of these opportunities. There's a back shoulder throw to Frank Ladson. He doesn't make the play. And then even when you do complete it, here's Frank Ladson. You got to keep him up so he can stay on his feet and score to Joseph Ngata.
From their 24, they start the drive, 1st and 10. Clemson looking to answer. And going into the heart of the line on the carry. And once again, it's Pace taken down by Lars Woodby. 2-yard pickup now. He started out pretty hot, 6 for 6, 54 yards. He has cooled off.
And think how they started. A couple touch passes, the one early to Justin Ross. They had one to Will Taylor. That's 2 of the completions. And then a couple free access throws. Got him into a rhythm early, but he's definitely struggled since.
Uyunglele will fire the pass broken up by Boston College. A lot of the fans on that side certainly wanted an interference, but no flag on the play. Busted up by Elijah Jones.
Yeah, and Elijah Jones does a nice job here. He's in press coverage against Joseph Ngata, and a good job of raking through the football. Maybe was early with his left arm, but you know, the truth of the matter is these Clemson receivers in recent memory have been a huge matchup problem for nearly everybody, but especially Boston College when they've played them. And BC's corners have played well tonight.
3rd down 8. Big Cinco has a big arm when he airs it out. He can fire it like that, but that one behind his receiver. Again, no flag on the play. Intended for Bo Collins, and it was Josh DeBerry there on the coverage.
Yeah, and it's a corner stop. So basically, Bo Collins is going to run to the corner and stop to get the coverage to run over the top. And it's an inaccurate throw. It's outside of the frame of Bo Collins, and listen, they're struggling offensively. There is no question about that. Inaccurate throw. I will say this, and I think it's fair to point out, and I think it has been the biggest difference in the Boston College football program is the way Jeff Hafley has gotten these corners to play.
Gill back for the punt. He'll come forward on that right at the 40-yard line with the fair catch. 36-yard kick down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, Friday night, a special time, 9 Eastern. Myself and EJ Manuel will host In Play from Blacksburg, Virginia. We'll discuss the conference's hottest topics. We'll also have interviews. Always fun when we get to take a show like that on the road. Really looking forward to being in Blacksburg next weekend. Not just for that, but looking forward to being there with you guys as well.
We are too, and the ratings on that show are going to be so astronomical. Just sit back and enjoy that at the ACC network.
I was about to say that's the definition of self-promotion, I think, wasn't it?
She's really talented at that. She's talented at a lot of stuff. 1st down 10, good field position here for Boston College after the punt. And the ground game has been churning. It's Garwo again with a carry. He'll pick up just 1 here. Clemson has won 10 in a row over Boston College. Back in 1983, Doug Flutie and the Eagles scored 28 unanswered points to stun Clemson. That's going to be underthrown, intended for the tight end. He wanted Barry again, but incomplete.
And some pressure on Grossell. And I think that's one area that, Clemson, we're used to seeing them get so much pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Now, I think some of it is obviously the offensive line for Boston College is a good one, and they've done a good job of staying balanced. But Clemson, defensively, just really haven't been able to win one-on-one matchups in the passing game up front.
3rd down and 10. The grad quarterback, Dennis Grosel, trying to lead the Eagles to a big upset here at Death Valley against the number 25 team in the country. He's throwing long into pressure. Boy, what a tough play that is. And he caught the football. Great catch by Williams. Jaden Williams, the freshman, went up to get it for 31 yards.
This is a ridiculous catch. The ill-advised throw probably by Grossell as Sheridan Jones is there to make the play. And
whistle on the run. On the handoff to Levy.
Replay has initiated a review of the previous play before the snap. Previous plays under review.
On a spectacular catch by Williams, the freshman, with 3 touchdowns this season. And rising up in heavy coverage. But this play is under review, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Stay tuned to get 2 rolls of alien tape free. You heard that right, free.
Find the ground on review. They do not pick up the first down, and now they have to punt it.
And it's obviously a huge play. Jaden Williams goes up, and live it looked like a remarkable catch. See how loose the ball is there, and even if it comes down on his arm, it's rolling. Clearly looks like it hits the ground, not a catch. And I think Jeff Hafley's initial frustration was that it appeared that they had snapped the football before they were buzzed down to review it.
So Carlson to punt, Jackson back, and a fair catch at the 10. So now the Tigers on the attack, 50-yard kick. Uyunglele with heat on him to move this offense and get them into the end zone again. Against NC State, just 111 yards passing. And this place is way too quiet for Tiger fans.
I mean, not used to seeing this, that often. It's just an offense that isn't explosive and getting big, exciting plays. They've just been so accustomed to it, and they have the players to get that done.
They've been averaging less than 170 passing yards a game so far this season, and under 22 points a game. So strange with a Tiger team. Dumped over the middle, and Ngata, he can do damage after the catch. Out to the 30. And a 19-yard gain.
And this is a good example of a routine play. DJ's working to his left, doesn't like it, just comes off and throws the shallow cross that sits down versus zone. And then you see how dangerous Joseph Ngata can be with the ball in his hands. It's plays like that that I feel like you need to see more of before you can take the big shot down the field.
1st and 10. Under 12 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tied at 13. TJ with the keep. Finds some room to operate. And a nice gain. 9 yards. Jaden Lars Woodby was the man who took him down there. Enemies tonight. But Lars Woodby was not only a high school teammate of DJ's at Powerhouse St. John Bosco in California. They were a passing combination. He said it's just crazy to think we're going to be playing against each other, but it'll be an exciting reunion for Bosco in Death Valley. And a handoff to Mafah. He'll pick up the first down.
We've seen them run DJ a little bit more, on design runs, and it just helps you. You get an extra blocker when the quarterback's the runner instead of handing it off. And with Mafah in the backfield, would not be surprised to see him come back to another one of those quarterback runs.
So some really good runs by the freshman Phil Mafah tonight. Again, they were intending to redshirt him because of the injury, particularly to Shipley. And the fact that Lynn J. Dixon is in the transfer portal. They needed help. And he's delivered tonight. Coming out of the backfield, nifty spin there. Mafah tied up on that by Maitre. And he'll pick up just 1 yard.
And that's a nice play in the open field by Jason Maitre, because if he's not there, we saw Mafah with a spin move like that earlier in the run game. And
yes.
There was room to run after that.
He's the back again on 2nd down and 9. Trying to make this place noisy. DJ keeping it. No place to go. No place to hide as he is stopped. Nazaraku with the stop on that play.
Yeah, and BC, surprising me a little bit with how much they're coming after Clemson. Playing a lot of man coverage, getting up and challenging the receivers, and then bringing pressure. That was Donovan Nazaraku just running it down from behind because they bring him on a blitz.
Third down 8. He fires, and it's broken up by Boston College. BC able to get that deflection off the hand of Lars Woodby against his old high school teammate.
Yeah, and he should have picked this off. I just think it was thrown too hard for how close Woodby was, and again, it was BC bringing a blitz, dropping a defender and still behind it, and nearly coming up with a huge play.
Will Spires to punt, 5-year starter. And Gill back at the 10-yard line, and it's blocked. Boy, Boston College is everywhere. They are everywhere.
When I was getting ready to say the BC special teams have done a very good job tonight. You think back to the 70-plus yard punt, and now you got guys talking to each other about protection issues, and really they're going to roll out. It's one of these slow developing plays, and it's just miscommunication in here in terms of who's picking up the Boston College defender that's running up the field. And it's Nito Akpala who's just running through there and gets a hand on the football when you have 3 Clemson players that are technically there to pick it up.
So Boston College to take over on the 35-yard line of Clemson, and a flag down. 9:19 to play in the third.
False start. Offense, number 67. The 5-yard penalty. First down.
First down and 15. Now BC's had a couple of rather damaging penalties. 6 for 35 yards so far tonight.
Yeah, and that was a false start on Jack Conley, who looks like he's in for Tyler Vrabel at left tackle.
Garwo with the handoff. Pat Garwo with 175 yards and 2 touchdowns against Missouri in the great win at BC. The fans rushing the gridiron. And it was a spectacular feeling. Everybody who was there had never experienced anything quite like that at BC.
Yeah, including Jeff Hafley. He said he kind of had to collect himself after the game a little bit because there were no fans at Alumni Stadium a year ago, and obviously a very different environment for that overtime win.
Second down 12. Time to throw. He's going to fire for the end zone, but overthrown. He wanted Flowers. He was out in front. The coverage by Andrew Booth.
Yeah, and this is one that Dennis Grosel is going to want back because he's got Zay Flowers. And on some of these post routes, you can lead them across the field. Just go ahead and lead them across to that far hash, put some air on it, and let him run underneath it. And you can see the reaction that he knew he missed that one.
3rd and 12 for the Eagles. From the 37. He's going to roll right. And once again deflected, and it falls incomplete. Another tip. That was Skalski.
That's a heck of a play by Skalski. He's rushing inside and senses the quarterback trying to escape to his right and just mirrors him. Here's Skalski. He's rushing in here. But look at him see Grossell get outside the pocket, run with him, and then be able to get that left hand up on the football and nearly create an opportunity for an interception.
Pressure there by Booth again from the corner. So Carlson to punt. And tied up 13-13 with 8.5 to go in the third. Anybody's game. Trying to kick it short and play the bounce. Gets inside the 5 all the way down to the 2-yard line. 35-yard kick. So that's where the drive will begin. Oh, you have to wonder what's going through the mind of the Clemson quarterback right now. This is a team that he really tore up a year ago, but it's a completely different mentality for Boston College.
It's just been a struggle. I mean, and when you talk to the Clemson coaches about it, they say they're close, and look, it looks like they're preparing for the game. They are close, but we're used to them not having to talk about being close. We're just used to seeing them produce.
Pace takes a pretty good pop, but he got it across the 5-yard line. Kobe Pace with a carry. Graham Mobley with a tackle, but a 4-yard gain.
And this could be a big, momentum builder and confidence builder for this offense. Ball inside your own 5-yard line, putting together a sustained drive or finding a big play to change the feel for this Clemson offense.
2nd down, 6. And the handoff, trying to dart back inside. Pretty good job of picking up extra yards there by Pace. Looked like he was about to be stopped, but he gains 5. Cam Horsley finally wrapped him up. 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 has quarterback run written all over it for me. If you get the look you want, I think some type of read where you can give the ball to Pace, or DJ has the option based on reading a defender to keep the football and run it. I'll tell you the other thing, Dave, getting under center and quarterback sneaking.
Yeah, handoff instead, trying to make up that yard, and they will pick it up, and he almost broke away. Pace got out of that pile and eventually stopped, but he gains 10. And it could have been a whole lot more.
Yeah, it could have been almost like the run to start the game. Kind of pushing the pile. Doesn't really appear that he ever ends up having his forward progress stopped. And Marcus Tate, the freshman lineman, 74, look at him pull him out of there. Nearly broke that one.
Spotted at the 22. 1st and 10. Uyunglele. Another handoff. They're keeping it on the ground here. And certainly Pace, the workhorse. Graham Mobley tackles him.
I just feel like when you watch this offense, it's not designed to hand the football off 40 times. It's just not, that's not what we're used to seeing, and even when they did hand it off with Travis Etienne, it was just as explosive, or potentially as explosive, as a throw down the field to Justin Ross.
Every time he touched it, you think he's going to go for 40, 50, 60 yards. He'll throw this one short as he dumps it off, and an opportunity with a screen to bust this open. Pace taken to the sideline, and he's pushed out, but a huge gainer there, as Clemson will rip off 33 for the 1st down.
It is a perfectly timed call by Tony Elliott. You see everyone getting up the field for Boston College. Walker Parks gets a great block in the open field, and that's a perfectly timed pass, easy completion for your quarterback by Tony Elliott.
Mafah gets strung out a bit. Got across the 40-yard line. The freshman pushed out by Elijah Jones. He'll gain 4 yards. They're showing a lot of confidence in him.
They are, and I've liked what I've seen out of him. We talked to Tony Elliott and said, you're definitely going to see Mafah. We like him. He's going to have a different role with Shipley out. And We just kind of talked about his size, and he said, oh, yeah, he has power. There's no doubt about that, and we've seen it.
Yep, can be explosive. He's averaging 9.5 yards per carry. And then another one here, ducking inside.
Now, the other thing with a big back, Dave, is that, as this offensive line has been criticized for maybe, not being as good as maybe some of these groups have been in the past. A back that can break tackles and certainly help change the narrative quite a bit on an offensive line and how they're playing.
And Clemson with 24 all ACC selections on the O-line alone over the last 6 years, in which they have won those 6 consecutive ACC titles. 3rd and 5. DJ goes airborne, and it's tipped away. It's broken up by BC. And Ngata stopped by Brandon Sebastian at that game-sealing pick in overtime to beat Missouri.
Yeah, it's just like a fake stop by Joseph Ngata, and again, Sebastian probably gets away with a little bit of a grab. And to me, I just look at DJ. He looks unsure there. Looks a little bit late. Doesn't really throw the ball with any conviction, and then misses high. And when you're throwing a fade stop like that, and Joseph Ngata got a great big catch radius, but if you're missing Ngata's catch radius, then the ball is inaccurate.
So Spires into punt, and Gill back at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I get this, Dave.
A flag.
Delay of game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Here's the deal. Ball's on the 39-yard line, and you send out your punt team. I'm not sure how big the benefit of punting is there unless you're 100% sure you're going to pin them inside the 5, which you can't be. Obviously, after the delay, going for it wouldn't make any sense.
Gill, the return man. And standing at the 10 takes the fair catch. That's where the drive will begin. A 34-yard punt and a tie game. Thinking monumental upset, but hold the phone for just a minute on the defensive play by Booth. And a loss of 3 yards for BC.
It's a fantastic play by Andrew Booth. They basically get the perimeter blocked, and so now Boston College is typically content with, hey, our runner on your corner, but Andrew Booth comes flying up and makes an excellent open field tackle. You see, he's the number 24 overall prospect, according to Mel Kiper Jr. He's made a couple of tremendous plays in the passing game. There's a big one in the run game.
That was an NFL play to take down Sinkfield. 2nd down 13, backing up BC. Grossell from his end zone has to air it out. He's going to throw it, and a dive, and it's going to be picked off. Intercepted. R.J. Mickens, the strong safety, with a diving play for the pick.
It's just a misread by Dennis Grosel. He gets fooled. There's a pressure coming, okay? But they're going to roll over the coverage. And really what he ends up having is his tight end wide open running underneath rather than pushing the ball down the field. Here comes Barry leaking out. He should get the football instead, trying to force it downfield where they have rolled coverage. And R.J. Mickens able to come up with the football.
Tremendous diving catch for the interception. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. It's going to be Pace with the carry. And he'll pick up 3 yards for Clemson. 2nd down and 7. Trying to turn that pick into some points. Pace now with 107 rushing yards in this contest. Here's the throw for the end zone, but incomplete. I was looking for Bo Collins, the wideout, but not there.
Yeah, just not connecting on some of these opportunities versus man coverage. You're getting press on Bo Collins. He runs an inside fade. You've got all kinds of room to try to get him the football. And I think one of the more frustrating things to see is you see Justin Ross on the sideline, no longer in his pads. is that there's just so many of these opportunities where either the Clemson wide receiver hasn't come down with it or DJ hasn't given them an opportunity to get their hands on the football to come down.
Ross out of the game, the best receiver on the field. Certainly along with Flowers of Boston College. DJ puts it up again, looking for 6, but overthrown. The flag is down. That's dropped at the 15. Flag on the play. He wanted Ngata again, but a flag. .228 to go in the third. And is this on Sebastian?
Holding defense number 10 of an eligible pass receiver. The 10-yard penalty includes an automatic first down.
I thought it looked like he grabbed him. Inside release by Joseph Ngata. And watch, as he tries to stack Sebastian, look at that little grab right there. I think that grab right there is going to draw a flag every time. The issue ends up being, look how far away that football is. Listen, if it was a grenade, no one would have died. Like, the ball is not close to Joseph Ngata. I understand he was grabbed, but like, they don't seem close to connecting on these.
Uyunglele will fire, and another flag as it is incomplete. Off the hand of Bo Collins, but another flag is dropped. 2:25 to go in the third, tied 13-13.
Pass interference, offense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
Yeah, you know, E.J. Williams can run through there, but he's got to make it look like he's running a route, not make it look like he's blocking somebody. And that's a huge penalty. And again, regardless of the penalty, another inaccurate throw by DJ.
Yes, and 1st and 25. Offense continues to stall here for the Tigers. They have failed to score in the second half. And more whistles and more flags here.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Marcus Tate, the true freshman, the left tackle.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you know, Dabo, I think what he's saying is that stem by Boston College. A lot of times when you stem as a defense, there's a, a move call, something like that. And, and Dabo might be suggesting that there was a flinch there in reaction to that.
First down and 30 now for Clemson. And a quarterback will keep it. DJ across the 30 and steps out of bounds. So you got a chunk of that back there at 15 yards on the run.
Again, I think it's one of the reasons why we've seen more design runs. Spread him out. He's not as fast as the other guys that we've seen here. Not as fast as Taj Boyd or Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence, but he's still a good runner, different style of runner, but still a very good and dangerous runner with the football.
Pace the running back. Takes the handoff and straight ahead and a nice hole. Graham Mobley finally with the stop. He'll gain 7.
And it's a good read by Graham Mobley. Otherwise, pace is gone. Mobley kind of sees it and does a good job of closing. And, for as far off schedule as they were, to find themselves in a 3rd and 8 is a pretty good accomplishment by this Clemson offense.
But still 3rd and 8. On the 18-yard line of the Eagles in a tie game. Final moments of the third, low snap. And he's going to throw that one incomplete, try to recover and dump it off, but nobody there. And another drive just kind of dies there.
Yeah, and if your quarterback is struggling, the last thing you need to do if you're a center is roll it back to him and make him play shortstop. I mean, I understand you're throwing a wide receiver screen, but it disrupts every bit of the timing, and that is why when the coaches say, hey, we're close, it's just one guy on a couple of these plays. It's just one guy. Well, look, in football, especially on offense, one guy has the ability to ruin a play.
Potter's already made 2 in this one, and he will stick another one, number 3 from 35. He needed just 1 field goal to tie Chris Gardocki for 10th and Clemson points in their history, and he gives them a 3-point advantage.
And that is a huge stop for Boston College. After the pass interference penalty, which gives them a first down in the red zone, to get backed up like that and hold them to 3 is a massive win for Jeff Hafley's team.
Penalties played a very active role there. So Clemson up 16-13, just over a minute to go in the third.
And Dave, think about how unforced those penalties are. The offensive pass interference doesn't need to happen. It's unforced. False start. It's unforced.
So the Tigers to kick off with a 3-point advantage. Boston College trying to remain perfect and looking for a giant upset on the road. That would check off so many boxes for the Eagles, but they're trailing. And that will be off to the end zone. And here comes Grossell. Trailing 16-13, Dennis Grosel, the senior quarterback. His first 2 seasons at Boston College, he saw no action at all. They brought in from Notre Dame to transfer Phil Jerkovic, but he had a hand injury 2 weeks ago. He was certainly the #1, no question about that, but went down at UMass with the hand injury. And yet Boston College came into this one with the nation's #15 overall offense, averaging over 41 points a game.
And Dave, look at this. I mean, are you kidding me? 11 for 24, 158 yards and 2 interceptions, and they're down just 3 points to Clemson?
Yes, amazing. Little toss sweep. And trying to dive ahead, it's Garwo again. He'll pick up 4. Venables with the tackle.
I think that's the thing that's surprising. You know, offensively, they've run the football well. It's obviously been a bit of a struggle passing it, and
Garwo again trying to scoot outside, got across the 30-yard line. Andrew Booth will stop him there. He'll gain 4. Garwo has been working hard in this rushing attack under half a minute to go in the third. 3rd down and 2. And this crowd, homecoming crowd here at Clemson, looking for a stop. BC 3 out of 10 on 3rd down conversions. Alex Sinkfield back in as the back for BC. Grossell, pressure on him. He's going to be sacked. Xavier Thomas all over him for a 13-yard loss.
And I don't know how Andrew Booth, who's coming on the corner blitz at the bottom of your screen, is not offsides. I mean, he goes in front of Xavier Thomas. I am not sure how you go in front of a defensive lineman and you are not in the neutral zone. And that's why Jeff Hafley is irate with the officials.
As a bonus, use the promo code on your screen and we'll give you 50% off a second set of Skinny Stacks. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 sets of Skinny Stacks, but you have to order now.
Well, Boston College, as we begin the 4th, is forced to punt, but very questionable whether there should have been a penalty moments ago against the Tigers, which would have given BC a first down. Here's Brown across the 40. He is tripped up close to the 50-yard line, took a pretty good hit, but back to this key play.
Well, Andrew Booth is going to blitz. Now, he is going to go in front of Xavier Thomas. Xavier Thomas, a defensive end that is lined up right on the line of scrimmage. I have no idea how you can run in front of a defensive lineman and not be in the neutral zone. And Dennis Grosel gets up and he's like, okay, yeah, he's offsides. Wait, like, what do you mean he's not offsides? He just ran in front of the defensive lineman. Jeff Hafley's reaction was the same exact way, and to be honest, I don't know how you missed that one.
That's a complete miss. First down 10. Clemson trying to turn that into some points now and benefit. They'll stay on the ground. Pace is going to be the workhorse as we get down to Kelsey Riggs.
Well, you saw Kobe Pace there, but before that, he was getting worked on the sidelines. His right hand, you can see, has been retaped. He actually came over, was in a ton of pain, was grimacing. They cut the tape off, looked at it, and as they moved his fingers around, he was in a lot of pain. They did retape it, and he is out there now, so we'll see how he holds up.
Kelsey, thank you. 2nd down and 8. And DJ with a handoff once again. It's Pace as he tries to spin ahead and stopped by Brandon Barlow, the 5th-year man. He'll gain 7. The injury story is huge for the missing Tigers. We're talking about Justin Ross. We don't know exactly why he's out of the game.
No, but he's, obviously 2 back surgeries to get back to be able to play. And you said it earlier, Dave, and you're right. He's their most talented, best wide receiver. So not having him in the lineup, certainly not helping this offense.
Boy, that's a balky looking play right there. The pitch for a loss. Kobe Pace stopped by Cam Arnold.
Well, they're trying to run an option, but Boston College has a defender for the quarterback and a defender, so they're just running speed option, but they do a good job of stringing it out. And then you look at Cam Arnold, who does a really good job of mirroring the back. And so when you do that, you're not optioning somebody. You're just pitching off of one unblocked defender to another unblocked defender. And the Boston College defense does a quick job of getting off the field.
And those who are howling about the lack of production from the Clemson Tigers offense before tonight are howling a little louder. And it's going to be dropped after the fair catch. Able to jump on that. Jalen Gill able to recover. 39-yard kick. 12:51 to go and a 3-point lead for Clemson.
Football is the game.
Going to start this drive from the 6-yard line. And Levy straight ahead, trying to pick up some hard-earned yards to bring up 2nd down. And a tackle by Rubin.
Yeah, Frank Cignetti, I think, has got to find a way for his quarterback to get a completion here. He's missed his last 5. He's kind of struggled a little bit here, especially in the second half. And now you're backed up, kind of in a danger zone. Little screen, move the pocket, play something to get Dennis Grosel back into a groove.
2 for 8 with a pick in the second half. From the end zone, pressure, trying to get back over that goal line. He did. He stacked up at the 5-yard line. And the Tigers all over him. Murphy and Simpson taking him down.
Yeah, it's Trenton Simpson that does a great job of winning his one-on-one. He's coming from the bottom of your screen, and he just runs over Travis Levy, and it's really an excellent effort by Dennis Grosel to get out of the end zone and prevent the safety. But now, 3rd and 11 with this stadium rocking, backed up against the end zone.
Third and 11 from the end zone, rifles that one, and it's going to be complete to Trey Barry, who's been so reliable. That's a 1st down. He's made some big catches tonight.
Yeah, and it's just a pressure that comes from too much depth. Basically, look at Venables is going to come from way back there, and he's just never going to get there in time. That's Tyler Venables, and that, if he's closer, then Dennis Grosel doesn't have the ability to find Trey Barry coming open in the middle. But because he's coming from so much depth, Dennis Grosel is able to hang in there enough and let the play develop.
Thomas, the defensive end, getting up. 11:04 to go. More in a moment.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy.
You bundle home and car insurance.
Boston College still very much in it, even though their quarterback, Tim, is 12 for 25 and 2 interceptions.
Which is remarkable with that stat line, but that was just a gigantic play by Dennis Grosel. The last 4 drives have been negative yardage for Boston College. And then 3rd and 11 backed up with a crazy bit of crowd noise to make that throw with Tyler Venables running into your face. It was a big play and exactly what BC needed there.
Yeah, got 12 on that play in front of 79,159 at Death Valley. Bouncing off, it's Levy. And some extra yards after the first contact by Travis Levy, stopped by Tyler Venables. And a pickup of 8 yards. Remember, they had 275 rushing yards against Missouri. Maybe the initial game plan was to use the running game to complement the passing attack with Jerkovic, but they have adapted brilliantly without their #1 quarterback, who regularly threw for 300 yards. 2nd down 2. And a handoff and a big jump in there by Levy. And he'll pick up the 1st down.
I think that's just a good example of kind of the identity of Boston College. Here's a back hitting it downhill, understanding the down and distance, just falling forward for the 1st down. And Jeff Hafley has kind of instilled a lot of confidence in this football team. It's put them in a situation again now where they're right there with Clemson, which has not been the case in the past.
Yeah. By the way, this is the 3rd year in a row they've come here. And trying to pick them off, and a big stick right there by Balin Spector, who had 19 tackles against NC State. This one with authority, and no gain.
So he kind of gets stood up.
You could hear that anywhere you're standing in the stadium. As he tags Levy, gets right back up. 2nd down 10. 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Little fumble there by Grossell. He gets it very quickly to Gill. Gill in the open field across the 50, and will gain 24.
It's just a nice job of hitting Gill on an inside slant. You see it. Take it zone coverage, just gets inside the defender, and then just being able to keep Gill on the move turns into a big play on an easy throw to the wide receiver.
The Ohio State transfer. Levy spins and gains some more after the initial contact. And you were talking about this earlier. Boston College really has 4 backs they like.
Yeah, they're rolling them through. And what's interesting is Boston College keeps pounding and chipping away. Just seems like there are guys in the hole. That's a great example. You know, James Skalski is in the hole right there to make the tackle on Travis Levy, and he still ends up picking up 4 yards.
Pat Garwo, usually the go-to back. Off the right shoulder of Grossell, who wants to throw it over the middle and throw it short. Incomplete, intended for Galloway. He skipped it. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Good pressure by the Clemson Tigers and by Spector again.
Yeah, and Spector getting home was a big deal because Galloway is wide open, but because Spector is able to come free, Grossell's not able to get enough on it to get it to Galloway, who had all kinds of room to run. And once again on 3rd down, the crowd back in it.
Biggest call of the night coming up here. 3rd down and 6. Under 8 minutes to go. And Grossell fumbles it. He'll scoop it now, running for his life, and a huge loss. Boston College muffs the play, and they lose 16.
Just a fumbled quarterback-center exchange. Doesn't really look like it gets to Grossell's hands. I have seen Lindstrom reach back and try to grab Grossell's towel to try to dry his hands off, but just doesn't get the football to him. And you know, the coaching point there is don't make a bad play worse. Lose a few yards here, and all of a sudden field position.
Brown will let that one bounce, and it gets into the end zone. That's a 56-yard punt. So DJ back to work, working his bench. Work to do, up by 3.
Subway has so much new, it didn't fit in that last ad. Like the new deli-style oven roasted turkey and new hickory smoked bacon. It's the Eat Fresh, Refresh at Subway. It's so much new, we don't even have time for this guy.
But I'm Tom Brady.
Oh, and there's smashed avocado, too.
Dustin Poirier.
Roller coaster. There have been the high moments for sure. And I think they're going to rely on him here as we're into the 4th quarter, and Clemson's going to need to run the football.
DJ's going to roll and fire, and he threw it too high. Intended for Bo Collins, who needed a ladder. Now Pace, a look at his roller coaster night.
Well, first just getting absolutely chewed out after a penalty by your head coach. But then ball gets handed your way, and you get the first big play of the night as you able to scamper in for a score. And you know, Dabo then saying, hey, remember all that stuff I was saying to you before? Like, I didn't really mean, okay, I meant it, but I'm happy you just did that.
Goes for 59, makes up for a lot of sins. 2nd down 10. And they find the quarterback real fast, and they take down Uiagalelei as he is tackled by Valdez for a loss. Barlow in there too.
Yeah, it's a slow developing quarterback power, and it just gets run down from behind. Here's the deal. Clemson's got to be able to throw the football. I mean, you do need to be able to pass the football, and they just haven't been able to do it. And with the talent that they have at wide receiver and as strong of an arm as the quarterback has, it's hard to watch.
Well, neither starting quarterback has been impressive. 3rd and 12. Big Cinco can do something about that here in the last 6.5 minutes. He's going to rifle that one, showing off that strong arm, and Ngata. He's going to take off down that left side before they take him out.
Joseph Ngata.
Maitre saving a touchdown.
You just see how dangerous Joseph Ngata is with the ball in his hands. Just a little post route there. Really doesn't have that much separation. Good ball to the face mask of Ngata. And that's why it's frustrating to see this offense struggle passing the football. I mean, there's not a whole lot, you know, that's unique to that. Just a good job of bending to the middle by Ngata. Good accurate throw. And then the run after the catch is remarkable.
Yeah, they break it off for 54 yards. And now deep into BC territory. He'll throw again, but it's in and out of the hands and incomplete. He wanted Lay, the tight end. An opportunity to make a catch there, but incomplete.
And it's another example of having 11 guys on your offense and one guy not doing what he's asked to do. It's a run pass option. The tight end's wide open in an avoided area, and the ball should be caught. You know, so as much as DJ has struggled, I think the guys around him need to help him come up with a football.
And that's been an ongoing issue.
For sure.
Here into the 5th game for the Tigers. It's something you just don't see. And stacked up right around the line. That'll bring up 3rd down. Pickup of 3 for Pace. Salah eventually gets credit for the tackle. And a big call here at 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and look, I think you get into 3rd and 7. You know, you're passing the football. It's a known passing down, and you know, if I'm Clemson, I'm doing anything I can to get a one-on-one to Joseph Ngata.
Uiagalelei out of the shotgun. Fires, and it's incomplete. It was Ngata.
And it was one-on-one, and it's a back shoulder throw, and it is a beautiful throw by DJ Uiagalelei. Press coverage, stack him, look it back inside. Ball is high and away. It's perfectly thrown. And Joseph Ngata just needs to make the catch. Listen, I think I've been fairly critical of DJ and his inaccurate throws tonight, but when your quarterback is struggling, the best way to get him out of those struggles is for receivers to make catches that they should make.
Potter from 42 yards, and he has been so reliable. That's his 4th one of the contest and makes it 19-13.
And Clemson responds with some points following a disappointing drive with the Joseph Ngata drop, and BC still in it.
Tired of food storage.
Also, his quarterback who put it right where he was supposed to.
Put it right where he's supposed to put it, and DJ talking to him afterwards, and really I've seen too many of those. Saw one from Justin Ross early in this game, just like we did at the end of the NC State game. And we've been accustomed to these big, physical, talented receivers making every single play, it seemed. And that's just not been the case.
Hey, be sure to stick around after the game for the huddle. Jordan, EJ, Eric, and a coach joining you for a complete breakdown of all the ACC games today, including this one, obviously. That's tonight after we wrap things up on the ACC network and also on the ESPN app. And as Tim points out, with 4:51 to go, BC very much alive, trying to spring the upset. Grossell just 13 of 27, 195 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
And with this much time, they can just stay in their base offense.
He's going to look to put it in the air, and a short toss. Getting that one free to Levy out of the backfield, and Levy will go for 14.
And it's a nice drive starter, a little screen. But again, I mean, sitting here, Dave, at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, Grossell looks like he's kind of hurrying up a little bit, and truthfully, really no need to rush.
Under 4.5 to go. To throw again, here they come. He gets it off, and another completed pass. And this time it's going to be C.J. Lewis, the wide receiver, for 8.
Yeah, nice pickup on first down, just a shallow cross. You see the blitz coming in. Some defenders vacate. And now I'd expect BC at 2nd and 2. Some opportunities here to continue to pound the football.
Second and short for the Eagles. On the 47. Grossell. Another carry for Levy. Travis Levy getting a lot of action here in the second half. Stopped by Sheridan Jones. Pickup of 2. And brings up 3rd down and 1. And a quarterback to keep it. Grossell will get the first down.
Now listen, it actually, I think, is a good thing for Boston College. Again, with the clock not being an issue, you don't want to score too soon, right? I mean, I'm not saying you're facing Aaron Rodgers, you need with 37 seconds left on the clock, but the idea here is, like, you don't need to be in a hurry if you're Boston College.
Grossell trying to lead them to a gigantic win here tonight, and a completed pass once again. It's Zay Flowers. 17 yards for the Eagles and a first down.
Yeah, that's really good timing by Dennis Grosel. When he throws this football, Zay Flowers really wasn't even into his break. Ball gets left a little inside. Good job of adjusting to the ball by Zay Flowers.
They've come to the 32 of the Tigers. Grossell throwing a lot, looking for the end zone, trying to find a man, and it's too far over Flowers. And incomplete. Good coverage by Andrew Booth. Flag is down with 2:57 to go.
An eligible receiver downfield on a pass. Offense, number 3, was covered up and went downfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
So BC backs up here with under 3 minutes to go.
So Trey Berry's on the line of scrimmage, but so is this wide receiver up there. So he's covered up. So he then is an eligible receiver, and he's running down the field. So clearly a miscommunication formation-wise for BC.
First down and long. And more flags on the play. And just 1 second went off the clock.
False start. Offense, number 73. The 5-yard penalty. First down.
Listen, these small errors are just adding up. You think back to the fumbled snap in the previous drive. You get a legal formation, you get a false start. It's hard enough on the road against a team that's won 30 in a row in this building. Then they have pre-snap penalties and then quarterback center exchange issues.
First down 20 for the Eagles. And another flag. And they just keep piling up here.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty.
The crowd really a factor here. That's on a right tackle, Jack Conley. First and 25 for BC.
You have all kinds of time. There's 3 minutes. You have plenty of timeouts. If you're Boston College, to me, right here reeks of a running back slow screen. Crowd going crazy. Defensive line wanting to rush the passer.
They've got to clean up the penalties, though, 3 in a row at a crucial time. Grossell throws, and it's going to be caught, and a tumbling catch by Flowers. And that clock running. 2:44 to go. Second down 9.
A pretty good response to get it back. If you're going to get free access, just like you are at the top of the screen, go ahead and continue to throw those out-breaking routes like we've seen twice on this drive.
Going to hang that one up high toward the end zone, but he overthrows his receiver Lewis. Trying to get to that corner, but incomplete.
It's the right idea by Dennis Grosel. You know, Lewis just comes out of his break, kind of takes too flat of an angle, I believe, and then as he turns and looks for the football, slows down, but the right idea by Dennis Grosel.
Third down and 9. He has suddenly become a big-time passing quarterback here. 2:25 to go. He'll fire it incomplete. It was Flowers again he wanted, but incomplete. Nolan Turner with the coverage.
Yeah, and they're bringing a blitz, Clemson does, and Dennis Grossel's got to throw hot. Just doesn't give an accurate ball to Zay Flowers. Listen, even with Nolan Turner right there, if he makes the tackle, then you're talking about 4th and 3, 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 9. Now, holding up and pass protection going to be part of the issue.
2 wideouts to the left. Grossell pressure coming, throws it up, and it's complete to Flowers, but it's right there on the line. And Booth there with the tackle. And let's see where they mark this. Now Boston College saying they picked it up. Clemson saying short, and Clemson is right. Big time stop for the Tigers.
It's a huge stop. Once again, Brent Venables brings pressure. And so they get free through the middle. Dennis Grosel is forced to retreat. Is able to get the ball to Zay Flowers. See what happens. They're bringing a blitz. And so he's going to throw hot inside here as they get home. Now he catches the football, what looks like, you know, the 23-yard line, which is going to be short. Goes up for the football. Maybe it's the 22.5.
Yeah, they are checking the spot as he went airborne.
I mean, to me, that's the 23-yard line. I think BC needed to get inside of the 22 for the first down.
Yep.
And
yep, that was the line to gain. Heck of an effort there by Flowers, but while airborne, he takes the hit.
You know, that was really the throw that they needed on third down.
And they have confirmed the ruling on the field. It is short of a first down.
After further review, the ruling on the field of the runner being short of the line to gain is confirmed. It'll be first down for Clemson.
Now keep in mind, Boston College does have 3 timeouts remaining with 2:14 to go.
Yeah, and so not out of it completely.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Kobe Pace, of course, will be called upon here certainly to take the bulk of the carries, you would bet. Number 20 for the Tigers, as they try and put one in the loss column for BC for the first time this season. Uyunglele with the handoff for Pace to bring up second down. He has rushed for 125 yards in this game.
Yeah, he's done a nice job running the football, and they've needed him to with, you know, the struggles that they've had passing the football consistently.
BC with a timeout. When you talk about the loss of that young man, Justin Ross, we'll see for how long. You know, the issues with the back have been well chronicled, and the long road back from that. That's a guess on our part as to why he came out of the game and was not available in the second half.
No, and you know, as we look at Will Shipley, who was their starting running back to start the season and a player they're really excited about, he's been injured. And next to him is Braden Galloway, 88, who's wearing the t-shirt with his number on it. He had to come out of the game. And so, you know, so many issues injury-wise for this Clemson team, but still plenty of playmakers on their roster as well.
Phil Mafah, a new one. Quarterback will keep it. DJ takes a knock straight ahead, keeps on churning. Close to the 30-yard line. And still 2 timeouts remaining, and BC will take another one with 2:04 to go.
Yeah, and here's the deal. This is a huge third down, and these are the things coaches always talk about. 4-minute offense for an offense. Like, get that first down, end the football game with the ball in your possession. Now, if you're Jeff Hafley's team, you're talking about, look, we work on this. We know what they're going to do. They're going to run the football. Like, let's bow up, stop the run, and give our offense a chance, because quite honestly, they stop them here, Dave, use that last time out, they're going to get the football back with plenty of time to give yourself an opportunity.
Down by 6. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Listen, I think in years past, we have seen Clemson, you know, with zone read, obviously quarterback's ability to keep the football, but an RPO, comfortable passing the football. I don't think you can do that right now with how the quarterback has struggled. I don't think you can risk throwing the football, have it be an incomplete, and allowing Boston College to keep a timeout. I think the ball has to stay on the ground, and I think a quarterback run is probably the call.
Kobe Pace in there as well for the Tigers. 3rd down and 3. The snap. Uyunglele is going to race backward. He's going to be taken down at the 20-yard line. Boston College and Maitre to rip him down with 1:56 to go, and they're going to lose 9 yards on that.
That's a huge play, and I think they're running a move the pocket play where they basically say, hey, look, the tight end who's running into the flat, if he is open, if he is wide open, then you can give him the football. If he is not, then go ahead and eat it, you know, run with the football, but don't throw an incomplete pass and have it be incomplete. I believe that's what they instructed him to do, which is why he ends up holding the football, and then Maitre is able to make the big play behind the line of scrimmage.
That drive took only 18 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and quite honestly, like, it's just not, that's not good enough for a Clemson offense. It's just not. And, you know, to get the ball back after stopping Boston College, you know, on a you know, potential game-winning drive for BC, get the football back. The fact that you are not ending the game with the ball in your possession is a bad job by the Clemson O.
The Tigers looking for Spires to boom one here. Gill is back at the 35-yard line for the Eagles. That's going to take a bounce right to him, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line. 46-yard kick. So Boston College with an opportunity. They have a chance here with less than 2 minutes to play.
I mean, they have the ball at the 35-yard line, 36-yard line with 1:48 seconds left. I get it that they don't have any timeouts, but with the clock stopping when you get a first down, and obviously after an incomplete pass or getting out of bounds, if you would have told Boston College they could sign up for this opportunity prior to the game, you'd have had every single person on that sideline raising their hand saying they'd take it.
Yeah, they have not won a road game against ranked opponents since 2008. Grossell has been flinging it here. He's going to fire again, and it's Flowers. He'll make the catch, and he's taken down around the 50. That'll be 15 yards for the Eagles. And picking up the first down on the move from midfield. Grossell again. Throws short this time. Off to his running back, Levy, as he is pushed out of bounds.
I love the decision by Grossell. You can't, like, every play on this drive doesn't have to go to the wide receivers. Checking the football down to a back that can run and get out of bounds and give yourself an opportunity to get close enough where you can take shots to the end zone. You have plenty of time to do that.
2nd down 3. Grossell again. Throws, and it's going to be incomplete. On the near side to Flowers. Did Flowers make that catch?
I think he catches it. The question is he in bounds when he catches it? It's a perfect throw, and that ball isn't moving. At first, it looked like his right arm was being grabbed.
14-yard pickup, indeed. Grossell throwing short. He'll dump it to Levy, and he gets stuck at the 25-yard line. Skalski with the hit. Boston College still breathing here with 1:10 to go. 2nd down and 6. Crowd coming to life here at Death Valley. He'll throw again and complete to this tight end to Trey Barry, and he picks up a first down.
Yeah, and I think that, when you look at Clemson right now, they're reeling. I mean, they got guys on the boundary wide open, and Brent Venables, I think at some point here with the ball at the 11-yard line, at some point you want to talk to your defense about what you're doing.
Grossell has gotten hot. 5 for 5. Throwing for the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete and nearly intercepted.
It's a misread between Barry and Grossell. Basically, Grossell thinks that Barry's going to cut flat. Instead, Barry fools him and goes behind Venables. Had he cut across his face, it's maybe a touchdown.
Skalski did tip that. He got a fingertip on it. 2nd down and 10. At the 12-yard line. .53 seconds to go. Play clock is down to 2, and it's fumbled, and Clemson comes up with the football. The Tigers have it. KJ Henry picks up the fumble with 49 seconds to go. Boston College has the drive die right there.
BC was taking a long time in the huddle. Seemed like there maybe was some confusion. Almost looked like Grossell wasn't ready for the snap, and I'm pretty sure that this has to be the big Bojangles moment, because it's like he wasn't ready for the snap. Off to the left a little bit as they were kind of up against the play clock. And what a way to end it for that BC offense that was threatening.
What a drive, too. And to have it end like that. Knocking on the door. They had gone to the 12-yard line, and all the momentum belonged to the Eagles.
This is a 12-yard line, and I'm thinking maybe Brent Venables needs to call a timeout so his defense can regroup a little bit, because it was big play after big play from Dennis Grosel working the boundary. And then after they huddle up, they kind of break in the huddle with about 9 seconds left, and you could see the sideline telling them to hurry up. It was getting inside 5 seconds. And then just a super deflating way for this thing to end for BC, and obviously surviving a scare for the Clemson Tigers.
BC loses for the first time this season The 31st straight home victory for the Clemson Tigers. What a way to end it. On a fumbled snap on what could have been a game-winning drive. Let's toss it down to Kelsey with Dabo Sweeney.
Coach Sweeney, it was far from perfect, but what did you learn about your team that they were able to come out and get this win?
I didn't learn anything. This team has got heart. They're tough.